Hey everybody, my name is Francis, and today I'll just be playing some casual doubles on March 15th, 2025. Now, I do play with Ling all the time, as you can check out in my previous videos where we play doubles. She has a really good backhand along with some very good volleys as well. However, I will be playing with two other new people, Varun and Kelly. Varun was on my team and he had some really big serves in the beginning along with some great volleys toward the middle and end of the match. While Kelly was on the opposing team and he had some really consistent shots along the baseline and this serve with a really low bounce where I couldn't really handle it that well with my Western forehand grip. This combination of players made for a really wild set with lots of ups and downs, and it was pretty fun. So with that, I hope you enjoy this set, and thank you for watching. Alright, and I gotta tell you, Varun just starts off real strong with an ace right there, and his serving in this first game was ridiculous. It was just so flat and hard to deal with, and almost like it was skidding off the ground. And you can see we just get some really easy points thanks to his big serving. Ling making an uncharacteristic error at the net. Usually if she gets a ball like that, she'll just attack the person at the net and hit the ball right at their feet. Very difficult for me to handle. And it seems in this very first game at least, they were struggling at the net a little bit. But I gotta tell you, thanks to Varun's big serving, we were cruising through this first game. No double faults, no unforced errors, and no points given up. After this first game, our confidence was sky high, I'd say. But things would take a turn quite soon, in fact, very soon. Now, as I was saying before, Kelly has this serve that it just lands so low and it's hard for me to deal with my Western forehand grip. It looks like Varun handled it pretty well and he's got this really good rally going. And here I do what Ling likes to do a lot, which is attack the feet with the volleys and just draw out the errors. So with Kelly serving to me, I really got to get down low with the Western forehand grip just to make sure I can get the ball over the net, and he just does this amazing drop shot. And just nothing I can do there except try to run for it. With me on the return for Kelly's serve, I once again have to bend down pretty low for the forehand side and hit kind of conservatively just to make sure that I can return it, keep the point going, and definitely trying to avoid hitting to Ling because she's actually quite good at the net and can put away those shots. I know that from too many of my previous videos, that's for sure. After a lengthy rally, was able to draw out an error finally. But yeah, Kelly is incredibly consistent at the baseline. And I find an opportunity to volley at Ling and try to attack her, but she was the one who had an excellent shot right there and just bullied me instead. I tried to do a desperation save there, but nope, too good. Misread his serve here, and it was actually higher than the others, and they just tie it up 1-all. And here I attempt to attack the net with an approach and do a volley, but just missed a little bit. I hit a big enough serve to draw out an error out of Ling, but have to follow it up with a double fault just to give them the lead right back. But Varun hits this excellent volley winner to even up the score in this game. And Varun hits another great volley, almost like a smash, just ruthless. Ling gets a little bit lucky there where the ball just pings the tape. Awkward shot for both of us, and it's a winner. That brings this game to deuce. And now I try to play the cross-court game with Kelly, trying to avoid Ling at the net. This turns out to be quite a lengthy rally cross-court. Varun tries to go for the poach here, but just misses that volley wide. And with that, they're just 1 point away from taking the lead. And with that, they do in fact take the lead, where we have just a few too many unforced errors. And that's something I notice in doubles in general for myself, where I do tend to make more errors in doubles versus singles. I feel that with somebody at the net, I gotta take more risk with my shot and be a bit more aggressive, thus leading to more errors. And just a really strange bounce on this clay surface, where this tends to happen quite a bit here. Ling tries to go for the down-the-line shot, but just misses a bit. Always a little bit of a risky shot in doubles. And Varun sees both of them at the net, goes for that lob shot, and it happens to land in, giving us a pretty massive lead in this game. Solid enough volley from Varun gives us the game, tying it up 2-all. But soon he'd struggle a little bit with some double faults here and there, something that I struggle with probably even more. Try to go for the poach here, but probably should have put that away. And with that, they now have a pretty big lead in this game. And by now, I could definitely tell that Kelly on the other side prefers those cross-court rallies. And I would say he's probably more consistent than most people, so I can see why he would go for that strategy. But in this case, my partner Varun was able to outlast him for this point. And soon it wouldn't really matter because I would make an embarrassing volley error right here. Can't believe I made that mistake, but it happened. Yeah, that one's a little bit painful to watch. And with that, Ling and Kelly regained the lead by a game, thanks to my unforced errors. But you can see that their unforced errors are pretty close to ours. We're just losing some of those clutch points. Decided to go head-to-head with Kelly in the cross-court rally, and hoping that my partner Varun can get a poach because he seems to have some pretty good volleys so far. Just need to avoid Ling, as she can definitely pick that off if given the chance and just end the point. And get a little bit lucky with Ling missing the backhand. And so far the unforced errors are pretty even between both of our teams. And here, this is a pretty crazy point where we're just running all over the place. I try to attack the net player once more, but she gets it back. And Ling makes a great defensive volley right there, stretch volley. And right after, Kelly makes a really good defensive lob where it forces an error out of us.
once again go for those long rallies cross court with Kelly, just hoping that Varun can get that poach, or that I can at least outlast the rally. Go for this volley here because of that side net. Try to go for this backhand smash, but miss pretty badly for another error, and now they're in command of this game. Varun makes a really difficult save here. Tries to make another save with a pickup, but just too good from Kelly, and now they're up 2 games with me on serve. A dangerous proposition where I tend to double fault. I make my serve this time and go for yet another cross-court rally with Kelly, just hoping I can either draw out that poach or an error out of him, and in this case it was an error. Here I decide to go for kind of my weak second serve, and Varun hits this ruthless volley that just ends the point. I don't know why, but I keep on going for those cross-court rallies with Kelly. Maybe I was just very confident at that moment that I would be more consistent, I'm not sure. Even though, to the contrary, they're ahead in the score, and I make a pretty bad backhand error right here. But able to bounce back quickly after this point. Varun makes a nice volley again, just ending the point abruptly, putting us decently ahead in this game that way, giving me some confidence on that serve and not double faulting. And once again going for another one of those long cross-court rallies with Kelly. And was able to end the point with an error out of Kelly finally, but we had the wrong score and thought the game was still going, so we had to play yet another point. But luckily, we drew an error out of them just at the right moment to end the game and just get a little bit closer in the score, but still some catch-up to be done. They haven't even double faulted yet, which is pretty crazy, and probably why they're slightly ahead. That slice just barely misses. Definitely get away with this backhand a little bit, but was able to pop it back up for a defensive lob. And luckily my backhand lands right in the corner just so she can't get it. Or at least it makes the shot really awkward for her, if anything. And now I try to do what Ling usually does and attack the person at the net, and good enough volley to get the point, but not perfect. And also starting to draw more errors out of them to catch up, get closer to tie up that game score. And yep, see that opportunity to do the poaching and tie up the game score like that. 4 games all. Ling attacks me with a volley and don't know how I got that back. And she goes for me again, but don't even know how I get that one back especially. Find my opportunity here to go for a poach and pays off that time with the winner after a pretty lengthy rally between Kelly and Varun. But I gotta say, up to this point, we've done a pretty decent job of catching up again, just staying in it. Keeping the game score close. And speaking of close, Varun hits a nice winner down the line. Just a really nice shot, as you can see in this replay here. Varun hits a forehand, which barely makes it into the court, giving us a huge lead in this game. And I make this kind of dumb error at the net. Getting a little bit worried now that they might be able to bounce back right into this game. Ling hits a shot that just lands on the tape. And here, when it lands on the tape, there's just nothing you can do. It's so fast, and you can see it does in fact hit the back of the tape right there. And now suddenly, this point becomes incredibly critical, and we need to win it to just get that lead finally. And now Varun and Kelly are doing that long cross-court rally, just trying to avoid the net people. Ling hits this ridiculous pickup backhand shot, and Varun couldn't get it. He tried, but just too good. And now they have the advantage at such a critical moment. Varun hits this really nice lob that Ling was unable to get to, staving off a game point. This would turn out to be a very long game with many deuces and lots of unforced errors and critical moments. And Varun just barely missing that slice out wide, but he makes up for it really soon as he hits an ace. Try to attack Ling at the net again, but was a little unsuccessful and was forced to defend. Luckily get that error. Actually just got away with that at a critical moment. Make this painful unforced error with a volley, and the game continues on. But was able to draw out an error here and kind of redeem myself for another chance. I tried to put some pressure at the net, but Ling lobs me, and Varun is unable to get that shot right in the corner. As I said earlier, this would be quite a long game, but fortune would turn our way quite shortly and bring this game to an end. And it was done by this really nice slice winner by Varun. And after that lengthy battle of a game, we are now within spitting distance of ending the set, having nearly the same amount of unforced errors, but a lot of winners and also a couple aces. But here we are trying to close out the set right here, preventing any kind of tiebreaker situation being the worst case scenario. But of course have to miss this easy volley, missing the whole court. Pretty embarrassing. And even though that was embarrassing, just trying to keep the game close, don't give them any easy points, and I go for that cross-court shot and draw an error relatively quickly. And in fact, we're able to get 2 relatively quick points after that. Again, just going for the cross-court shot with medium pace, high percentage shots, just forcing them to play out the point as much as possible since we're ahead by a little bit. But it seems that both of our teams were making unforced errors, and that was what was really making the difference at the end here. And now with it being match point, the pressure was on them. And the match ends on a really bizarre bounce from the surface, giving Kelly this really awkward shot to try and hit. Unfortunately, it had to end that way, but that's how it is here sometimes on the clay. But there it is, that's the match, and Varun and I came back with that early deficit we had in the beginning and middle of the set. We're able to stay in it and keep the score close, and eventually find our moment to crack right back. But Ling and Kelly played really well. They had 0 double faults and had almost the same amount of unforced errors, just maybe not at those clutch moments. And that's how it is sometimes in tennis, where it's all about the right moments. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.